And to clarify something that I've heard you say, or at least some, you hear shit through the grapevine. There's been this like misconception behind the scenes that apparently I was trying to plot with Boogie and Wings behind your back for us to do our own show and cut you out. And I would like to clarify that because there's been so many people spinning it in negative ways, notably my detractors and shit, that I just want to let you know what really happened. And again, you don't have to believe me, but I'd like to tell you my perspective here.
Sure.
Is when Boogie said he had cancer for the first time, I swear to God, this is true. When he announced to the internet that he had cancer, what was it, like 2 years ago now or something like that? Maybe 3, I don't even know. I actually DM'd him on Twitter. And I wished him the best because I felt bad that I had heard this and I knew his history or whatever. And we basically had like a conversation at the time, just back and forth, very cordial. And he had mentioned that he always wanted to do content with me. And I was like, why would Boogie want to do content with me? Again, I don't understand why anyone wants to do content with me. I think I'm the most boring, stupid dude, but apparently people, get some entertainment out of me. And so to me, I was like, I don't get it. So we talked a little more and we kind of came up with this idea that maybe we would actually do a podcast together. Not that it would be an ongoing thing, but maybe we do an episode or two and test the water. So that's actually, at that very moment when he announced he originally had cancer, was the moment we had that idea that perhaps we would do a show together. Now, I have no clue if at that time you were even talking to him about doing anything. I don't know if you even had the idea in your head yet, but that's where it started, okay? And then over the time frame of like the next year or two when all this was coming together, basically what happened was, I guess you were trying to get the show together. This is when we had our spat where you were going to offer me the $50K and it fell apart. And then you talked shit about me online about it and stuff like that. And he, even to my knowledge, I guess he was very angry with me because he felt like I cost him $50,000 or whatever. And I got contacted by a third party that I guess is supposed to be like his lawyer or something and said, hey, so Boogie and Wings are interested in doing a podcast with just you without Keem. I swear to God, this is what happened. I did not contact them. I was contacted by this third-party guy saying this was the case. Now, I didn't believe it. I thought this is some fucker trying to catfish or something, right? So I went right to Boogie and I asked him, is it legit? He says, yes, this guy's legit. Trust him. I'm like, okay. So then I talked to this guy for a while, and the idea was that Boogie and Wings were going to do their boxing match for you. And when they were done and everything was cooling down, it would be a great thing to start a podcast with the three of us because they had momentum on their side from this boxing match, right? And so I was in talks with this guy, working it out. He was basically going to arrange the streams. I was going to be kind of a host, and they were going to be out. We're working all the details out. We'll profit share all this shit, right? Who knows where it will go? And then all of a sudden, it gets announced that Wings and Boogie are doing your show instead of mine, and everyone's at my like, Phil, what happened? I thought you were talking. You were going to be on a show with them or whatever. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was, to my knowledge, this was probably going to happen, and now it's not apparently, and everyone's dumping on me like I screwed up or something. Like, what did I do? I'm just talking to this guy who claims this is how it's all going to happen or whatever. I don't know who the guy is. I really don't. So I don't crap on him or anything. But go ahead.
So here's what really happened, right? I announced I want to do LOLCow Live. It's the greatest idea ever. It's going to be a wild success. The hosts are going to be DSP, Wings, Boogie. Me and you never come to agreement. It doesn't happen, right? So it sits dormant for 6 months? It sat dormant for a long time. And then I go and focus on this fight between Wings and Boogie. Well, while I'm building hype and working my ass off to make this viral like it was, they had so much attention around him. This other guy swooped in named Games Attorney, right? Was that his name? Game Attorney or Games Attorney?
Yes.
One of these names, there's Game Attorney and Games Attorney. One of these names is legitimate, and everyone knows them from back in the day in commentary because they worked with H3 and other people and are an actual attorney. And the other one literally just has a similar name. And the guy with the similar name is the guy that reaches out to Wings and Boogie, who think he's legit, and they're like, okay, we'll do a podcast with you since it's not going to happen, and we'll keep Keem out of it, and we'll get DSP. And so they start talking to you. Then I find out that they're doing this show without me. I'm like, oh, hell no. This is my idea. I'm doing it. So then they leave you, and I kick out the Games Attorney guy, and that's why we had to change the name, because it was the LOLCow podcast. he already went and built all the usernames all over online.
Oh,
so I was like, yeah.
okay.
So it was like I had to kick this random guy out of the whole business transaction and then create new brand names and all that called LOLCow Live. Yeah. So that's what happened there.
All right, so yeah, so just so you know, I wasn't trying to snake you, skunk you. I wasn't trying to do anything. Like, I was barely involved. It was like other people were driving that boat, and I just got pulled into it. And I see people are saying, "See, Darkside Phil was trying to steal the show from Keem." Like, what the fuck is going on here? It's always me, right? It's always me behind it.
You had Boogie and Wings in the middle that are like trying to get you involved, but also trying to get me involved, right? So they were playing both sides, really. And then when I found out what was going on, I was like, all right, the game attorney guy, he's gone. Like, get him out of here.